Our Facebook Live Lighthouse Addictions topic show. We're here every Thursday at 3 p.m. on www.facebook.com/Facebook Live. I'm sorry. I mean Lighthouse Treatment. Or you can just go ahead in the search bar and look up Lighthouse Treatment Center in Facebook and you'll be able to find us. And we're here, like I said, every Thursday at 3 p.m. And I'm your host for today. My name is Jo, and I'm very excited to introduce my guest for today. Her name is Jodi Barber. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
Would you like to introduce yourself and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your story?
My name is Jodi Barber, and I'm from South Orange County. And I started this mission a little over 7 years ago after losing my 19-year-old son, Jared, to a prescription drug overdose. It was preventable, and the first question my husband and I asked were are they regulating? There's no regulations. We had a lot of questions, actually, and I wasn't educated. I didn't have the pills in my medicine cabinet, so I didn't know the signs to look for. We found our son on our couch, barely breathing, and my husband had to do CPR, and my son passed away at the hospital where he was born at Mission at 3:47 that night. And then we went home and had to tell his younger brother, who was then 15, the news. And it was just a devastating, preventable thing that happened.
Well, thank you so much for being here. To bring awareness to what's happening around us. How did you get involved with Overtaken and Overtaken 2?
Well, what began my mission was actually a young adult named Cole, who is in Overtaken, who came with me to my son Jared's teacher's health class at Lisa Nagel High School. He asked me to come and share Jared's story. And the questions from the students went on and on. And Cole was so awesome. He was in recovery himself, and he knew the answers. And we realized that, the students needed to be educated. So we were talking in health classes. And then in 2010, after losing my own son, I lost 3 of his close friends as well.
Oh, man.
And it was a nightmare, and more in between. So I realized real quickly that we had this epidemic going on.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, we need to get this exposed because it's preventable. So I created this poster of 24 faces of young adults who lost their lives in Orange County. And I put that poster up in business windows, and I had my home number on it. And I started getting the calls. Well, one call in particular came from another mother who's a mom of 4, Christine Brandt, and we met and we discussed how can we educate students even more. And we decided that how about a documentary? And I thought, well, this would be awesome, to get into schools. So the documentary is called Overtaken.
I think I have a copy right here.
Thank you.
It's Overtaken, and we also have Overtaken 2.
I did. I produced the second one to spread the message of hope, because as long as they're walking, talking, and breathing, there's always hope.
Yes. And what is the overall purpose of this film?
Well, there's several young adults from Orange County, and they are telling their heartfelt stories of addiction and where the addiction led them. This was, straight A students in college. These were cheerleaders and football players. And I not only wanted to stop the stigma that surrounds drug addiction, but I wanted to educate. Christine and I both wanted to educate and spread awareness that we have an epidemic going on. And we just felt like schools needed to help out with this problem and educate. So we wanted it into schools, and happily it is in schools across the nation.
That's great.
And it goes with a lesson plan, and it's part of the curriculum in the health classes.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm so thankful that you're bringing awareness to something like this, especially to the younger people. Have these documentaries led to any type of advocacy to address the addiction epidemic across the nation?
Have I been? Yes, I'm an advocate. I've gone to Sacramento and DC, and I help get signatures, and I help pass laws, and it takes a village. So there's just several, hundreds of parents and people that are on this, and we're all talking about it, and we're not keeping quiet. We're not saying it was a heart issue. we're speaking before Congress, we're speaking before the Senate, and we're trying to pass, regulation laws and other laws. One in particular that was passed in California is the Good Samaritan Law, and that is an important law. Then what it's for is, if somebody does witness an overdose, they're not going to get in trouble, and they're not going to go to jail. They're just saving the life of that other person. And that's important, because on my poster there are boys that were thrown out of the car into the dirt because their friends were afraid to call 911.
I've known of similar experiences as well. They're so scared of getting in trouble, so they literally get dropped off like at the doors of an emergency room with, their friends don't stay with them. They're just loaded. They don't know what's happening.
Well, that's better than being dropped off in the dirt,
right?
Where some of them have been dropped off.
So sad.
If they're taking them to the emergency room, they need to really call 911, because they can get there faster and they can get them into that emergency room quicker. But if they're dropping them off in the emergency room, that's better than being dropped off in dirt. That's
very true.
Yes.
So when do you think prevention should start?
Prevention should start very young. 10 years old, 10 years, on up. But when they are in their last year of elementary school, going to start middle school, they need to know how to cope with the peer pressure.
Absolutely.
And then once they're in middle school, that is where they start to experiment.
Yes.
So we need to reach that age level and make sure that those kids know to say no, to stop hanging out with those kids, turn the other way, and stay away. Stay away from these drugs.
Yeah, I agree. I wish I had that something like that when I was younger. I remember my last year of elementary, I got accepted into the top school in California, which is a high school from 7th through 12th grade. And within a year, I had a full-blown meth addiction. So if we could bring that kind of awareness, what you're doing, into schools, then it'd be really, really helpful.
Yes, I'm on the board. I'm part of this board that is called Kids from the Other Side. And Dr. Hedrick is the founder. And this board it's a program for middle school age. And it's awesome. And if kids can stay off drugs, they will receive a scholarship at the end of high school.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we have an event coming up in May, so I will post that on Facebook, and hopefully everybody will show up to that event.
Yeah, that's great. That sounds really awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And what do you think are the best forms of prevention?
Oh, well, for one, education.
Right.
And for parents to be educated.
Oh, yeah.
Because parents, like myself, I wasn't educated. I had no idea of the signs to look for.
Right.
So please, parents, don't turn a blind eye. Educate yourselves. Go online. Check out what all these pills are for. Check out the opiates. Get to know what they do. Be with your kids when they're at the dentist office. Be with your kids when they have a doctor's visit, and make sure that if they have their wisdom tooth pulled, they're not going to be given Vicodin for that.
Wow.
Be sure that if they have a broken collarbone or a broken arm, that they don't need Vicodin or Narcos for that, or Oxycontin. Go home and have them take Tylenol or Advil, Motrin. All those pills will work. They're not addictive, and they won't have pain.
Right, and I wasn't ever really hooked on opiates or anything, but I have a similar story as well. I started off with Adderall for ADHD medicine, and then I ended up going into a full-blown meth addiction, so I agree. Education is really...
Adderall, can I just tell you that please. Adderall is actually meth in a pill? And so
12 or 13-year-olds should be taking meth in a pill, Adderall.
Right. And I know that there are a lot of ladies that want to lose weight, and they go to the doctor and they're given Adderall to lose weight. Yeah. We need to be good role models.
Yes.
So please, I'm asking mothers to stop taking Adderall to lose weight. Do it the hard way.
Do it the right way. And what advice would you say to someone who is struggling with their addiction and are having a hard time seeing that this type of behavior, addiction, can really damage them, or worse, kill them?
Well, first thing I'd like to say is have them go on YouTube and watch Overtaken.
Yeah.
And see where this addiction can lead. And then also watch Overtaken 2, Where Are They Now? And know that there is hope for you. Secondly, you need to reach out for help and not to be afraid of the detoxing or whatever it is. Your life is in jeopardy. Don't feel like you're invincible. Feel like, yes, I can die if I do this one more time, because this is what's happening and this is reality. Kids are dying every single day.
Yes. And what advice would you give to loved ones of an addict?
Never give up. Never give up on your child. I don't care how old they are, they're still your child. Reach out for help. Go to meetings yourself and hear other people and know that you're not alone. Get help for yourself. Get therapy, get counseling, whatever it takes. This affects the entire family, and we know that. And you just can never lose hope. Never lose hope on your child.
Thank you. And what is the most important message you want to leave our viewers with today?
Well, right now I would like to have all of you that are watching write to Donald Trump, write to your president, and tell them that this epidemic needs to stop. It needs to end. We need, this is a major health crisis. Donald Trump needs to know this is an epidemic across the United States. This is happening to good families. We need to stop the stigma. He needs to help with funding to get people into treatment immediately and long term. And this needs to be done soon, while kids are dying every day. So please help and write to your president and get him on board to make this important. Make this issue important. The opiates that are overprescribed has to end, and thankfully there are now the doctors in the ER and the nurses that are in the hospitals that are following the CDC guideline, and I'm so happy to hear that. If the pain management doctors also follow the CDC guideline, we would have less deaths. So I'm asking all the physicians out there to please follow the guidelines and stop the overprescribing.
Would you like to talk more about the movie?
About the movie?
Yeah.
Overtaken. Well, yeah, it's. I have now DVDs. They're free. I have now a 15-minute version that goes with the 28-minute version, so you can watch either one. The judges in the courtrooms are asking, those that are involved in drug court or drug issues to go home and watch it on YouTube and bring it back a full-page report.
Oh, wow.
And I would like to see it in more schools. I do presentations and free presentations. I bring young adults from Overtaken. It's awesome. The questions from the students go on and on. It's just so educational. So I ask about the schools, if you're listening and you work at a school, to try to get Overtaken presentation into either your health class or a back-to-back assembly. And let's show it and educate the kids.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. It was wonderful having you as a guest here. I just want to remind you all that we are here every Thursday at 3 p.m. on facebook.com/lighthouse treatment. Again, I'm your host for today, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.